Hi, guys.
Well, when did you hear about it? What was your reaction?
That was a week ago. Brendan Shanahan called me during the during daytime, and he said I was going to go into the Legends row, and that was amazing. I mean, I heard about Darren and Johnny and Ted was going in there, so I saw some pictures of that. So that was a little bit in the back. You know, it would be great, you know, to get there, I guess. I mean, but I never thought I was going to be this quickly, so I'm pretty happy.
Borje, when you see Peter and Max on the ice, do you look back and think that you had an impact on their careers?
I think this you guys are telling me that, you know, but I never thought that way, but I guess I did something, I guess, you know. Hopefully, you know, they looked at me, you know, when I played before those guys, but no, I don't look at that way, no.
What do you hope the statue looks like?
Somebody said, you know, or they sort of asked me, do you want from the first few years or later on? I don't know. I think, you know, that, you know, Joel helmet, I don't know. Or maybe that should be that, you know, from the beginning. But I think the CCM helmet, I look better in it, I think.
You look the same.
I do? Oh, thanks so much.
What do you remember most about Toronto, playing here?
I mean, playing in Toronto is, you know, that was fantastic. You know, it's playing for the fans and just the city. You know, I always said Mecca hockey, and playing in the 70s, you know, was fantastic. You know, we had such a good team, and played with Lanny and Daryl and Tiger. And it was great times, you know. But in the 80s too, of course, you know.
Peter Stastny used to say that when he first came into the league, he'd go home from games and drive with one arm because his other arm was full of bruises, and you know, the abuse that he took because he came here from Europe. You suffered a lot of the same stuff. Can you tell us a bit about how difficult it was, you know, for you to break into this league physically, and kind of the abuse that you had to put up with at the beginning?
Well, I mean, that was part of the game. You know, we knew that when I was coming over, me and Inge Hammerstein, we knew it was going to be tough, but I don't think we knew that it was going to be that rough. You know, like it was, you know, in the beginning of the 70s. I think Philadelphia sort of started that, you know, and every team had sort of a lot of rough guys, and that's not the way we played in Europe. But, you know, you had to sort of adjust it, you know, and do it. Of course, you know, there was a lot of bruises, and, you know, I usually say, you know, when you got hurt or, you know, broke something, but, you know, that usually when you got hit so many times, you know, in the boards and everything, I think that's what sort of really hurt you most. And I know, you know, how many bruises I had after some games, you know, with ice packs and everything, but you never think about it. You know, you play the game, and, you know, after the game, of course, it was sort of things, but that was fun, though. You know, it was a lot of fun to do it, too, so.
Did you ever think what it would be like to play in hockey today with the speed of the game and the way that it is? It's not as rough and tough as it was.
Today?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could handle it, but I mean, they're pretty big, those guys today, too. So I think from those days, you know, these days, these guys today are bigger and better shape, I think. You know, I think that's the difference. And I think in the 70s, everybody was sort of rougher, you know, and of course the penalties and everything was not as tough as that time. You know, today, you know, I think a lot of guys should have been suspended a few games, you know, in the 70s.
You showed that picture after Gerard Gallant stepped on your
Yeah.
face, the stitches. What was scarier, that or say one of the Flyers when he had you in by the sweater?
Why not? No, the skate was not. That was not a scary thing. You know, I think it was the next day when I took the bandage off and I saw my face. It was more scary. You know, I thought I was going to look like that all my life, but so that was pretty tough. But I think it was more like, you know, especially in the Phillies and then, you know, in the playoffs we had really, really tough games and great games. You know, that was fantastic. But it was really tough because they, you know, a lot of times they was target on you, and I knew that. But that was part of the game.
You remember the game when the Sweden game in the Canada Cup and you got the ovation? Was that
Yeah.
one of your highlights, sir?
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, that was nice. You know, I don't think I expected that either. You know, coming over here, you know, where hockey sort of started and everything, and then I played for another team, Sweden. I thought it was going to be maybe the boo me or something like that, and then all of a sudden I step out there and there's, you know, standing ovation. It was just incredible. I didn't understand at that time, but I think 5 years later, then I understood, you know, what, you know, then today it meant a lot, you know, because, you know, it was sort of appreciation from the fans, and that's amazing. That's how they treated me always here, so really feels good. You know.
I was just talking to a guy in the press box from Sweden, and he was saying that that moment is something that is one of the moments that's remembered in Swedish sports history. Like, it's, you know, I mean, it was bigger than just for you, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think nobody knew because, you know, today you can see it every day, every game almost back home. But at that time, I think they maybe saw somebody was talking about maybe once 3 months about hockey, National Hockey League. And so that's why they couldn't understand what I have done over here, sort of. So that was a surprise for them.
Do you remember the first time you ever became aware of Peter Forsberg as a hockey player?
I mean, I heard of Peter, you know, I knew he was really good. And when I came back to play for AIK in Stockholm, I played against Peter when he played in Modo. And I sort of saw him in, you know, how I reacted. He was going crazy on the ice and, you know, screaming at refs and everything. So, and I sort of tried to calm him down. I said, relax, you know, you're going to get a match penalty. And he said, and I said, and then really, I thought, oh, fuck, that was me for a few years back. You know, like that. That was nice. I don't think you remember that, though, but.
But you could see how good he was, I guess.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, amazing. He was really good, you know. It was fun.
Well, that's all we need.
You touched on it earlier, but do they come up to you a lot of these, you know, Swedish players, and they thank you? Does that happen to you a lot, or has it happened to you?
Come up and tell me. Well, I mean, of course, they say, you know, they watch me and, you know, looked up to me, but, you know, I have a hard to see that. I'm sort of pretty, you know, stupid, really, you know, that way. I always look back, you know, I mean, I played maybe hard and gave 100%, but I never thought of it like I was an idol or something like that. Maybe now, in these days, maybe I hear it better, and understand it better. Yeah.
Borje, you were the only Swede in the Hall of Fame for a long time now, with Mats in 2012, Peter this year, and Nick seems like a slam dunk next year. That's 3 and 4 years. Does that reflect how far Swedish hockey has come?
I don't know, but I think we if I understood the question, I think the Swedish, you know, we've been a lot of Swedish guys here, and I think we, you know, really paid really well. And there's a lot of captains, and I think when you get a captain in a team, you know, then you knew, like, then I know Swedish guys are pretty strong, you know, and they know they're really good leaders. So, but the question why it took so long time to get somebody in there.
Does that show, like, now that all these Swedes are stuck after you were the only guy in the Hall,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, Mats, Peter, Nick Lidstrom next year, you know, who knows about Daniel Alfredsson? Does that show just how far, you know, Swedish hockey has come?
Yeah, no, I think so. Like I think, and you look back, look into, you know, the juniors too. Now they're really, really good hockey players, and I think that's going to go on. And I think we're going to show, like, Swedish guys going to really be really big in National Hockey League, you know, from now on.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you. Hey, Bobby. I didn't see you there.